This is Joseph Waring reporting at the ICT and CTO Forum in Auckland, New Zealand. This morning I'm joined by Paul Scanlan. Paul is Huawei's Vice President of South Pacific Solutions Sales and Marketing. Thanks for joining me this morning, Paul.
Morning, Joseph.
With operators moving away from flat rate unlimited plans, how can they move towards smart charging, smart billing in order to extract more value from their customers?
Okay, so I think your question's got a couple of components. The first component is it's not just about technology, it's also about mindset. And when you talk about smart charging and smart policies, you really need to understand, first of all, what's the customer's behavior. So if you understand subscriber behavior and consumer behavior, then you can start to see where they're migrating to, which applications they're using, how they're changing the behavior. I mentioned before that voice is being replaced by video, and over the next 3 years that's exactly what we see. Flat tariff plans are an easy way for an operator to get into business, but as we've seen, a lot of the OTT players come in and through collateral damage, the operator's the one who suffer. The opportunity in smart charging is one of the components that Huawei sees is an opportunity for operators to change. One is the mindset about the different types of products and packaging and the opportunities that they can have in types of charging options. The second part is the technology behind that. So I guess Huawei can do a couple of things in assisting operators. The first one is we operate in more than 150 countries, and we have significant number of deployments in LTE plus all the other technologies you expect, and we manufacture, as I mentioned before, sort of everything. But by working with all the operators around the world, we see the trends. We see the trends in the technology, we see the trends in the subscriber consumer behavior. So we've orchestrated our technology platforms, particularly in the convergent billing systems and also in our IN platforms, intelligent network platforms, next generation ones, in structuring creative packaging by looking at behavioral characteristics of the subscriber and then coming up with creative options on how to provide real time, and I mean real time, as I change, I can move to different types of tariffing today, right now, within the next minute, within the next second. Convergence, whether I'm on a fixed or on a mobile broadband package, or whether I'm a converged customer, or whether I'm in either of them. So we have the technology today to do that and to help operators in both the technology component as well as the design of the product and the go-to-market of those products.
How difficult is it for most operators to move in that direction from where they are today?
The majority of the tier one operators, they come from a traditional background, just as I came from a traditional background of telco, and that means that the mindset is not really, shall we say, as flexible as, say, the OTT players, because they have a different skills makeup within their organisation. The thinking, the historical thinking of traditional engineers, sort of driving companies, is different and needs to be different today because of the economic climate. People on different parts of the business cycle in their development of their service provider. The second one is they face different types of competition from their direct competitors, from the OTT players. There's opportunities there to work together with competitors and also OTT players. It's not just all about competition. There's many ways you can collaborate and work with operators, and with OTT players.
Well, that leads me to my next question. How can the operators start to really compete with the over-the-top players?
So good question, Joseph. I think there's two options really. I mean, you can talk about competition, and competition really means you provide similar types of services to the OTT players. But another option really is collaboration. We mentioned the two-sided business model. If you understand the two-sided business model and you understand what the OTT players and where they want to generate their revenue from, and what your core business is and where you want to generate business from, then the opportunity to actually work together, and we've seen these types of examples in the US and also throughout Europe and also now here in South Pacific and in Asia Pac, of collaborations between OTT players and service providers. And that's actually a better business model for everybody, because then you're using the strengths of the two different types of companies based on their historical skill sets. On the other hand, if a telco really does want to compete against an OTT player, then he has to think like an OTT player. And today, they are technology-driven, network, engineer-type driven companies rather than strategy and marketing driven. So, it's 90% of the resources in a telco will be looking at designing, building, and operating a network. 90% of an OTT player will be looking at marketing, sales, doing deals, getting content, strategic partnerships. Very different makeup. The DNA is quite different between the two.
Thanks, Paul, for joining me this morning.